Welcome to Let's Watch. Today I will break down a mystery thriller titled Exam. Be ready for spoilers ahead. 8 candidates for a top job at a mysterious company are gathered in a windowless room with 2 rows of desks. They have passed previous requirements not mentioned in the film. They each choose a seat, and upon each desk is a piece of paper that identifies them as candidates. The invigilator arrives and sets the rules for the test, and the test consists of answering one question and that there is only one answer inside the room. There will be no laws other than what the company permits. As such, the candidate cannot try to communicate with the invigilator himself nor the guard. They cannot spoil the paper, they cannot leave the room for any reason. If they break any of the rules, they will be disqualified. The invigilator asks the candidate whether they have any question. He sets the clock at 80 minutes and leaves the room. Once alone, the candidates turn their paper over and find nothing written on the back. They look at each other in confusion. One of the candidates starts writing, "I believe I deserve." The guard throws her out of the room because she has written on her paper, spoiling it. A young white man starts talking and convinces everyone to work together until they find what the question is, arguing that for this job the answer can't be a simple one. It takes teamwork. He also gives insulting names to the candidates according to their physical appearance: black, white, brown, blonde, brunette, dark, deaf. Then White thinks, what else hasn't the invigilator forbidden them to do? He stands up, but guards only acts when the rules are broken. Thus, they are sure now that things unspoken by the invigilator are allowed. At first, they try to read a hidden message in the paper by placing them in front of a light. That doesn't reveal anything on the paper. When they break the lights, emergency lights comes on. When they carefully break the emergency tubes, they find infrared light. None of them help them to see anything on the paper. They further discovered that neither one will be disqualified if a candidate spoils another candidate's paper. When Dark tries to tell that they are probably missing something obvious, White dismisses her instantly. They try licking the paper. White urinates on his but finds nothing. White picks on Deaf, who speaks only French. Deaf displays symptoms of a mental or nervous disorder. He says in French that they only have to look at the paper while he tries to reorder some small pieces of glass on top of the paper. They discover that Brown is a professional gambler, and he suggests that it's a game that the board of directors is hidden on the other side of the wall betting on. With Dark as psychoanalyst, who seems to be only one who has some information about the company, the products, sales and expansion at center. Still, none of the other candidates could find any info on the company. Despite doing some research, Dark tells them that the company they all applied to, the worst job position, beats any best job position in the world. It's a company that expanded on some kind of pandemic outbreak. They found the cure for the infection. CEO of this company is considered one of the most influential people in the world. White takes charge of the group as the de facto leader. Brunette discovers they can touch the guard as long as they don't talk to him. She finds a lighter in one of his pockets. She wants to set off the fire alarm because it may produce something other than water, revealing a photograph that shows the question. She jumps onto a table but still cannot reach the sprinkler. White offers her a paper, and after succeeding, she discovers that the White gave her own paper, so she is disqualified and escorted out of the room. Black walks towards White furiously, saying, "I should punch your lights out." The room goes dark. Brown says, "Lights up," and the light goes on. They discover it's voice activated. White bullies the Deaf, tearing the paper and eating. After following his instruction, Deaf crawls away. The guard put Deaf's out, dropping his glasses inside the room. White deceives them by saying the group should collaborate, but after tricking Brunette into being disqualified, each one began to mistrust the other. As the tension builds to greater levels, Black punches White, knocking him out, and ends up tied to a chair by Black and Brown. White starts convulsing and is unable to find his medication, which is required every hour. Then they understand that the White is infected. Dark suggests that White is probably a spy for the company. Brown points out that the Dark knows an awful lot about the company, and everyone starts to suspect Dark to be the spy within the company and is working for them. They want to get the question out from her with torture. When Brown is going to torture her by cutting her with a piece of paper, they discover that she's an employee at this establishment. Before Brown cuts her thighs, next would be her eyes. She still yells that she doesn't know anything about, and Brown trusts her. White is getting worse, and while everyone else is trying to decide the best way to help, Dark discovers that the Brown stole White's pill and stuck it under his desk with a piece of chewing gum. Brown still disagrees about giving White the drug and slaps it out of her hand. It falls down a water drain. Dark turns towards the blank screen and pleads for White's life, and is there get disqualified. Blonde takes the pill out with her hair clip and forces the medicine into the White's mouth, and he gets well almost immediately. They free him. He points out that the clock is running low and there are 4 left. White believes only one can win. He had Black begin arguing and race to get the guard's gun. After pummeling White to the wall, Black takes the gun and after being provoked, allegedly shoots White. But they discover the gun didn't actually fire. They starts to fight. White stabs Black with a pencil and gains possession of the firearm and tries to shoot Black, but the gun doesn't shoot once again. White figures out that the guard may only shoot the gun, so he puts the gun into guard's hand. White threatens everybody that they must leave or be killed. Brown leaves, valuing his life. Blonde leaves and shouts light out to allow Black to win in the dark. White kills Black. Blonde has not entirely left the room. One of the feet remains partially in the room. White sees it and wants to shoot her. Then suddenly the clock starts blaring, signaling that the time has ran out. White shouts to the other side of the wall that he has won. Guard puts his hand on White's shoulder and shows that there is still time left. He loses because Def has adjusted the clock so that the 80 minutes time slot has not yet expired. He tries to commit suicide. He fails because he recalls that the gun will only work in the guard's hand. The glass wall is turned on and White can see the invigilator. He looks crushed and realizes that it has all been futile. The guard disqualifies him by leaving him out. Blonde fully enters the room again and picks up her paper. She fumbles with the pieces of glass and Def's glasses and reach question 1 written on paper's watermark in tiny print. She offers it to the Def, who returns to the room, and she says no, answering the question put forth. She is offered the job. She has explained that Def is the CEO of the company. He is troubled genius scientist who has discovered a pill to heal wounds incredibly fast. The blonde says she may not accept the job. When the invigilator points out to why she went through all the trouble, she didn't want the position, as she points out to Black lying on the floor and says it's unacceptable. The invigilator asks who told you that he is dead. She approaches Black and sees that the bullet wounds is almost healed. The invigilator says that they put the fast healing pill inside the bullet. They own the formula for the medicine which also heals Black's illness, but it can only be manufactured in minimal quantities. The new director needed to have sympathy alongside him, intelligence, drive and hard work. Blonde accepts the job right away. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then do check out our channel for more similar videos.